Hey everyone, it's your girl Tara Michelle. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. Today we're going to be discussing the 7 flankers that I own from the Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Collection. So I do not own the original because I wore it for years, and for me it's a little too played out. It is still beautiful, it's fresh, it's citrus, it's crisp, it's clean, absolutely stunning. If you've never smelled it before, I do highly recommend it if you love fresh, clean, non-soapy citrus fragrances. It's a beautiful one. However, they have so many flankers and all of them are better than the original at this point, to me, at least the 7 that I own. So there's no point for me to have it in my collection. Then there is an intense version, which I was never a fan of. There's a note in there that they used such a strong concentration of, or something that they intensified so much that clashes with everything else for me. It is just wonky. I do not like it. It is so harsh and like bitter and just it was the worst of the line in my opinion. There is also Italian Zest. This one is a beautiful burst of lemon. I mean, it is such a beautiful citrus fragrance. However, it lasts for 30 minutes on your skin. It's worse than a body spray. For me, I just lost it every time. I would spray it on, smell so good, do one thing and then go, wait, I don't smell me anymore, and have to top back up. It costs too much because when I purchased it, I think I got a 3.4 ounce for about 50 bucks. That's too much money to spend on something that I'm going to be reapplying every 30 minutes or every hour. So I love the fragrance, but it is absolutely terrible on longevity. The worst. So I would not recommend it for that reason. Now, with those 3 out of the way, let's talk about the 7 I do own. First up from my collection, we're going to talk about Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Love in Capri. So this is very much like the original in the fact that it is a citrus, crisp, clean fragrance. You're going to have your lemon and your mandarin orange in the top. You also have some honeysuckle. The honeysuckle in this is, I love the note of honeysuckle. You guys should know that at this point. I'm absolutely crazy about honeysuckle. So it's just one of my favorites. It really is because of that note. You also have your heliotrope, which you're going to get throughout this. You have jasmine, cedar, and musk. So it's pretty. It's really pretty, really refreshing, really crisp, really, fresh linen type of smell. Burst of energy from the citrus in the top, and then it just becomes this beautiful, clean fragrance. What you will notice with the Dolce & Gabbana line, for those of you who've never tried it before, for those of you who used to wear it and, maybe far removed, the crisp, clean freshness in this line is just beautiful. The only complaint I would have is that I wish they lasted longer. But when you're talking about this collection, you got to keep in mind that most of them are EDT formulations. They're not touting being eau de parfums or, extrait de parfums. They are eau de toilettes. So we're going to get what we're going to get from that formulation, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's just a beautiful, beautiful line. Next up, we're going to talk about the newest flanker released, and that is Light Blue Forever. This is actually an eau de parfum concentration, and I would like to give them an E for effort, or an A for effort. This one feels to me like it could have been the intense version, even though longevity isn't necessarily hours and hours longer. I would go 6 before topping up. I still do 4 because that's just me, but you can go 6 over the 4 that you usually can get with the original. This is opening up for you with lemon, blood orange, and green apple. So it is very similar in its vibe and its opening to the original one. And then you're going to get your white musk, you're going to get white flowers, orange blossom, cedar, cashmere. This one does not tout any jasmine. And when you smell it, I would have preferred this to be the intense version of the OG, the original light blue, over the one that really is the intense. This is so much better blended. It is so pretty. Still get that immense crisp, clean vibe and a beautiful burst of energy from the citrus. It's so much more potent than the original without being harsh or clashy or, you know, everything I get from the intense that I don't like. So this is a light blue forever eau de parfum formulation. I think this is a much better grab, easier for you to wear, and just a better overall purchase than the original. I really enjoyed this one. Next up, we're going to talk about the one that for a long time was my favorite. And when it comes to the ones that are more citrus leaning and have a huge burst of energy with like solar vibes, I'm going to give it to Light Blue Sun for sure. This is one to love. I also think this is probably one of the easier ones to like for those who have problems with citrus fragrances where you feel like citrus doesn't really do well with your body chemistry. This is one that will probably work for you. So it's going to open up with the lemon. However, there's a beautiful frangipani and white rose note right there to work with you. There's cedar, there's white musk, there is bourbon vanilla in this, as well as ambergris. I love ambergris. So this almost comes across like a touch of aquaticness or oceanicness, just a little with the burst of energy from the lemon, but the floral notes. It is the white rose and the frangipani that just bring this alive, and of course the woodiness from the cedar. So this is a very balanced, very well-rounded, well-blended fragrance. I think this is stellar. This is proof positive that Dolce & Gabbana can just get stuff right. So if you didn't really care for the original, or if you did, but you just want something different, I would reach for this one for sure. Sun, it's amazing. Next up, the newest one to my collection is Light Blue Dreaming in Portifino. This one opens up with a beautiful lychee note. So if you like that beautiful tart, fruity note of lychee, you're going to love this. In that opening, you have your lychee, your ambrette, and your osmanthus. So you have a little bit of creaminess from that osmanthus. You're also going to get your iris, your musk, your patchouli, and your amber from this. This is beautiful. And this is definitely a smell of its own. It is a full departure from the original for me. I just love it. The lychee. This one is super perfect for summer. All of them are. However, this one is going to give you a little bit of a tropical vibe because of that lychee without being the usual suntan lotion culprit. No, you can get something that you can wear in the highest of heat in the sun and still smell like a nice tropical drink of some sort, you know? So yeah, Dreaming of Portofino is a beauty. I'm so glad I finally got this one. Next up is another one that I absolutely love. Now this one touts an ice cream note, but I'm going to tell you now, no. If you are searching for a fragrance that's going to give you this huge ice cream note, and that's what you know, don't get roped into the ice cream note in this one. This is a beautiful red berry, citrus, woody fragrance. So you're absolutely going to get your lemon and your Granny Smith apple in the opening. This is very reminiscent in the opening to the original, but it's louder, more potent, more fun. It has red berries and raspberries. It's going to give you your jasmine. I mean, the ice cream. It's out so much. Cedar, musk, and amber, I believe again. So definitely the cedar being prominent in this line. It's in almost all of them, if not all of them, but this is so, why not put the stick down? So pretty. It is just, I love the red berries and the raspberry in this, in contrast to, while still working together with the citruses and the Granny Smith apple. Again, the Granny Smith apple is also not just a star shining soloist in here, but it does add what it adds. You know, you're going to get it, but if you're looking for a super apple fragrance or ice cream fragrance, this isn't it. They are just, you know, they play their key roles, but they're not the stars of the show. Anyway, overall, this is a beautiful fragrance. This also reminds me a lot of the original. So if you're looking for the vibe of the original, but you just want to add a little bit of something to it, Love is Love will definitely give you that. Next up, we're going to talk about the black sheep of the line, if you will. This is Sunset in Salina. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a beauty. There is still that fresh, clean, crispness that you're going to get from this line. But oh baby, there's a greenness in here. So right out the top, you have vine, like Tarzan, Jane. And this gives me a vibe of like the lush greenery I feel like you would smell if you stepped into the jungle. You know what I'm saying? Not a harshness, but it definitely is prominent in this. You have your yellow freesia in here. Of course, you're going to get your cedar. You're going to get your amber. This gives you still the vibe, the violet leaf. And orange blossom. You're still going to get those things that also show up in some of the other ones, but the vine and the yellow freesia and the violet leaf just set this apart. They make it something so unlike any of the other ones. So this has more depth. This has more personality, more of an original personality actually, because all of these have personality. But this is definitely like, you ever notice how you'll have like sisters, like you'll have 5 or 6 siblings and all of them will look alike except one. Like one of them just really came out of a whole DNA, set. They have the same mother and father as the rest, but for some reason, this one is just darker than all the rest, has a longer head than the rest, a more prominent nose than the rest or something. And you're just like, wow, that's interesting. When I'm looking at the family portrait, I'm going, one of these things is not like the other. That is what this is for me. And I've seen that so many times with so many of my friends, when they jokingly say they're not sure if their dad is their dad. I can't believe the conversation. How does that correlate to this? Like only me, right? Only me. But that's what I think about. I just think about it being, it's not an adopted child because the DNA is still there. So it's blood related. It just pulled its genetic markers from wherever it wanted to and came out looking like, or in this case, smelling like what it wants to. Yeah, I dig it. Last but not least, I'm going to discuss my favorite from the entire line with you guys. This is another one that takes a really big departure from the rest. This one is so sweet and so sexy and so feminine and so pretty, and I am in love with this one. This is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Escape to Panerea. This one opens up with bergamot and orange blossom. You also get your jasmine and your white musk along with ambergris and pear. And to finish it off in the base, tonka bean. This one, this is beautiful. This is date night. This is brunch. This is drinks. This one here, to me, is a little bit too good to just go to work. If you're a single woman and you're trying to hook somebody, by all means, throw her on. But she's special to me. So, the tonka bean, the pear, the ambergris, those 3 just give it to me. Of course, also I love bergamot and orange blossom, and the jasmine, the white musk do what they do too. This is just beautifully blended. The whole concept, the vibe, the smell is amazing. So again, that is Escape to Panerea. This is my favorite of the entire line. Well, I learned something new today because going off of memory, I would have ordered these differently, but smelling them, this is what I ended up with. In 7th place, we have Sunset in Salina. Number 6 is a Light Blue Forever. Number 5 is Dreaming in Portifino. Number 4 is Love in Capri. Number 3 is Sun. This was, I always thought that this was first or second for me, and to see it in 3rd place almost hurt me, but I guess it's the mood you have to be in. You guys know I prefer sweetness over everything. So number 2 is actually going to be Love is Love. It is the red berries, the raspberries, in conjunction with the beautiful citrus. I just love this, and it comes across sweeter. So, and of course, as I already stated, escape to Panerea. These names, these places, Salina, Sunsets in Salina, and Escape to Panerea, places I've never heard of or been to. So yes, oh, this beauty right here. Well, guys, I hope that answers your question about the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue line. I will tell you that for me, when it comes to the ones that I can wear without having to top up, without any problem, it's going to be Sun, and it's going to be Escape to Panerea, 100%. The rest of them, I'm topping up at the 4-hour mark regardless. And even with those two, most times I do as well. But that is just what I do most of the time, because I want to be enthralled with and engulfed by that smell again, that opening, all of that vibe, and create this huge scent bubble and this fantastic scent trail behind me, you know. So around lunchtime, finish lunch, re-up. That's just me. But I will give Escape to Panerea and Sun their just due. Those are the diva mode or beast mode of this line, if you will, because there are some men I know who wear this line, the female version of this line, because they do have a male version as well. But anyway, guys, as always, I want to talk to you in the comments if you have tried this house, this line specifically, because I know when I did my community tab, surprisingly, there were so many of you who've never tried a light blue. I literally was shocked. Like, and I know it seems kind of naive, because it's like, of course there's going to be some people who haven't tried it, but the number of people who have never tried a light blue with as many flankers as they have was just wowing to me. It just was wow. So if you have tried any of these flankers, including the OG or the Intense or Italian Zest, the three that I don't have. My daughter has Italian Zest, but I didn't feel like going to get it. So let's talk about it. If you've tried them, which do you like, which do you not like? If you've never tried any of them, did I explain any of these that made you think, I might be interested in getting that one? So let's talk about it in the comments. If you're here, please remember to like this video. It lets me know that you enjoyed the topic and the content and you want me to keep doing this. While you're here, also please subscribe to my channel and click that notification button so that you never ever miss any of my future uploads. Until then, guys,